John Wick Chapter 4 has surpassed $250 million at the box office, still going strong. And I want to talk a little bit about the movie and the franchise today, just as something a little bit lighthearted and fun, because we want to enjoy life, right? And I like to enjoy movies. You know, it was funny a few years back, I was with my wife and daughter and a couple other friends at the Mall of America. We went there for a couple days. My wife and daughter had never been to that mall and wanted to go check it out and did a bunch of shopping. We did some good eating, and they have a big giant movie theater in the Mall of America, and we went to a couple movies. If I remember correctly, it was a premiere of one of the Mission Impossible, I think, or something like that. Big blockbuster. I think it was one of Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible. And we went to that movie. It was opening weekend. And somebody commented that, what are you trying to get into an active shooter situation? Just, and making it sound like I was out there, tempting fate, doing risky behaviors with my family to prove a point or something because I wrote the book. And it's far from that. I enjoy movies. My family enjoys movies. We wanted to go enjoy the movie, and that's what we did, and we did so safely. Okay, I'm going to be aware. I'm going to do precautions and make sure that we're as safe as possible. But I'm not going to stay home and hide here in my office and not go out and enjoy life. And so I like movies. I'm going to go enjoy them. My wife and I went to John Wick on the first Friday that it opened, and it was fantastic. Good morning, Jay. Good to see you here. And a whole lot of other people have gone, and everybody's done so safely because we haven't had a big movie shooting since the one at the Batman premiere. Going to movies is pretty safe, relatively, right? We're still going to know where the exits are. We're going to be cautious. We're going to, be like that whenever we're out and about. But we're just going to do that so we can enjoy being out and about. No spoilers. Funny bit with the dog on the steps and what he did with the big bad guy. Yes, that was probably the most humorous point in the movie. And with a movie with a lot of violence and this and that, you got to have those soft, tender moments. You got to have those humorous moments. And they did an exceptional job with John Wick with all of those. Good morning, Danny. Appreciate you being here. I mean, back in 2014, I saw the first John Wick in the theater and thought it was fantastic. They changed how action film was done. They did things that no other movie really had done up to that point like they did. And then they upped it in the second movie. And then how do you make John Wick even better? You add Halle Berry and two badass dogs for the third one. Didn't think it could get much better than that. Seeing John Wick, Halle Berry, two dogs, just, awesome scenes, the way they do some of that. But chapter 4, they upped the game again. This action scenes, the visuals, the cinematography of these movies is just fantastic. When they show the cities, it's beautiful on the screen. The lights and the camera work and the way the filters and things that they use to create the John Wick world and look is absolutely stunning. And then the way they keep upping the action and the fight scenes where you don't think you could do anything differently or anything more. And it's like, wow, never saw that one coming. Never saw that done before. And the places that they film and the way they do it is really incredible. Danny says, I need to see it. You do, Danny. If you saw the first 3, this just continues. If you haven't seen the first movies, I would suggest you watch those first because they do build on each other. And it is a continuation of the story. They don't stand alone as well. I mean, they stand alone for the action and the beauty and the way the filming is all done. But the story does continue throughout the 4 in a series and a pretty short timeline. I mean, all 4 films take place within a fairly short timeline, when you look at it from that aspect. And they are very well done. I know some people will not go see the first John Wick and will not watch the John Wick because of the dog scene. And I get that. I understand that. But it was a pretty important scene for the movie that drove the rest of the films. And so that is something that some people have trouble with, is because of the dog scene in the first. You don't have to worry the second, third, and fourth, while they do have dogs, you don't have it like the first movie. And I guess I'm not really spoiling anything. It's 2014. The dog dies in that first movie, and that's why some people won't see it. But you don't have to worry. They don't kill any more dogs in the second, third, or fourth movie. It's just John Wick's puppy that gets killed that starts him back into the life that he had left behind and tries to get out of again. And that's the fourth movie. He has been sucked back into a world that he had left behind, and he's trying to get out of that world and what he has to do to try to achieve that. Danny says, I've seen 1, 2, 3. My wife never seen it, so we will watch part 1 on Sunday. Yeah, I actually had a friend, good friend, trains in Hapkido with me for years. He had never seen them. I said, you got to watch them. And so he actually watched 1, 2, and 3, and then went to the theater and watched 4. And yeah, really enjoyed them. They're fun movies. And they do a fantastic job with the supporting cast. I mean, Keanu Reeves, incredible performance of this character. I mean, he just owns that character, and better each movie. And then the supporting people that they put around him do a fantastic job. I mean, Scott Adkins, they put him in a big giant fat suit, and he looks huge, but he still has the flexibility and athleticism that Scott Adkins has, which makes a great scene, great action scenes. The car chases, the fighting, the shooting, the horseback riding, motorcycle, it is just incredible. And then besides the action, I really like the themes of honor, and especially between the assassins. There's an honor and a kinship between Donnie Yen's character and Keanu Reeves' character that is awesome. And they understand why each other is doing what they're doing, but there's still that honor and respect among different characters that I really like that thread in the movies as well. What is some of your guys' favorite? I mean, I know I got people watching. What are some of the characteristics, without spoilers, that you like in those movies? I mean, like I said, some of them are the fantastic scenes, the cinematography, the fantastic stunt work. I mean, the director used to be a stunt man, and he just has an eye for action and stunt work. And the stunts just keep giving up and up and up each movie. And you see some of those and just like, oh, that hurt. And then you see the anguish on the characters' faces where, oh, that hurt. But they keep going on. Danny says, my wife says Reeves is like Nicolas Cage. They're the same character in other movies. Oh, well, I would say John Wick is a little different than the Bill and Ted Adventure, but maybe not. Maybe they're the same dude. But, Keanu, for John Wick, he's perfect for that. That character, he is just perfect, and he plays that so well. Doesn't talk a lot, doesn't say much, but what he does say, it's just so poignant and just like, boom, he nails it. And they're just really fun movies. I'm not going to talk too much else about them. I don't want to give spoilers, and I'm holding back and don't want to say certain things because somebody like Danny hasn't seen it yet, and I don't want to spoil something that will be a fun, entertaining movie for him. There's a new dog in this movie that plays an important part that's really cool. I like how they incorporate that dog into the movie. I like the new characters. I like the new friendships that they brought, showing friends from John Wick's past and enemies that they brought up. And so it's just, they really did a fantastic job of bringing all that together. It's definitely one of the most enjoyable movies I've seen in the theater in quite some time. John Wick has Ted's haircut, that's for sure. And Jay liked Speed. Yeah, Speed was a good one. The first one with him and Sandra Bullock was awesome. Great movie. I've always liked Keanu Reeves, and the John Wick are definitely the capstone of his career. What he'll probably be remembered most for, unless he does some fantastic thing here in the future, which he could do. But the John Wick franchise is not going anywhere. They're talking about doing a fifth, and we'll see where, they say they got to have a logical place to take it and so forth. So we'll see if there's the fifth movie or not. It hasn't been confirmed, but they have confirmed the ballerina movie will come out next year, 2024. And that's the movie. The characters were introduced in the third John Wick. And so they're going to show that part of the world of John Wick's universe. They've already talked about doing a series on the Continental and an earlier Winston and stuff. So it'll sort of be a prequel series about the Continental and that chain of hotels and the whole underworld that lives and takes refuge in those hotels. So that'll be an interesting series. Donnie Yen has said he would be interested in doing a shoot off of his character. So there's a lot that could happen in the John Wick universe, even without John Wick, which could be pretty cool. I mean, that universe, and if they film it the same and they create it the same, it could be a humongous franchise with a bunch of different offshoots, which will be entertaining. I got to go, but if you do another coffee talk about movies, I would love to hear your opinion on The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about movies sometime. And I actually like The Last Samurai. You can nitpick it about authenticity, but it was a fun movie, and I like the honor and some of those traits that they included in the movie and tried to show. So, I mean, it was fun. And I don't nitpick movies for authenticity and stuff. You can watch a military movie and say, oh my gosh, they're doing all that wrong. You can do this. Oh, that's terrible. Nobody would ever really do that. I watch movies for fun, for entertainment, not for education or anything else. And so, but I did like that movie. It was fun. Maybe we'll talk about that and other ones. The only last thing I'm going to say about John Wick, and I'm going to sign off. I loved how they included, honoring the warriors. Now, if you've never seen the Warriors, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have seen the Warriors and you've seen John Wick 4, you know exactly what I'm talking about, how they honored that movie with the John Wick movie. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the Warriors, watch John Wick. You'll see that. And when I saw it on screen, I was just like, wow. And they even used some of the language. Boppers, drop the ball. You'll see that in both movies. So with that, I am going to sign off. Danny says it's a beautiful movie, The Last Samurai. Oh, the filming of it was fantastically beautiful. I mean, the cinematography of The Last Samurai was incredible as well. Danny says 47 Samurai with Keanu is a way better. I liked 47 Samurai with Keanu. I think I liked The Last Samurai better, but I liked both of them. And Jay says, wow, I'm not sure what you're wowing, Jay. Are you wowing the Warriors? Are you wowing The Last Samurai? Are you wowing just the whole movie or the universe in general? But that's pretty cool. I will see everybody tomorrow. Make it a fantastic Wednesday.